Good evening. It is Thursday, February the 23rd, about 9:45 p.m. This is Shay Gibson from Wind Alert and iKitesurf. This goes out to Ryan Drewer of the Collegiate Kiteboarding Association as they have their event in St. Petersburg, Florida this weekend, Tampa Bay area. They're having the 2017 Regional Championship, and also Elite Water Sports is putting on a big air contest sponsored by Woo. So we're hoping for some wind down there, and that's what I'm going to talk about. Let's go ahead and just dive right in. Here's the event right here on the page that you see with me here, and then also here is the Facebook page, so you can see February 25th through 26th in St. Petersburg, Florida. So best of luck to everyone competing there. Let's go ahead and talk about winds and see what's going to happen. This is the National Weather Service map that we're looking at, and what I'm looking for here is high pressure to move in from the west to give some wind to the area. Right now it's a little bit of a northerly bite going on from some leftover high pressure and a gradient from low pressure offshore. In fact, if I go ahead and enable the pin here, I can get some drawing going on. So this low pressure right here is interacting with this high pressure and creating a little bit of a northerly gradient down through the Tampa Bay area, and that will continue through the night, and it will slowly fade by tomorrow. This high pressure will weaken, and then we see another cold front drawing towards the southeast region. So if we put that into motion, we'll see that we get a big snow event, big winter event to the north. This low pressure develops over the Great Lakes area and slides to the northeast and drapes this cold front down through the region. So it looks like for Saturday morning, this says 12Z, which really means about 7 o'clock a.m. for EST, Eastern Standard Time. And so it looks like this area right here is going to be in kind of a flat spell, maybe a little bit of a southerly wind ahead of this front as it comes along with some rains and showers in the morning. And what we're looking for here is we're looking for this high pressure that develops out west to push into the area and wedge in sort of a westerly flow, maybe even northwesterly flow in behind this cold front. So the timing of this is going to be whether or not this high pressure makes the westerly flow down into the Tampa Bay area. You may end up having a stronger flow as that front moves through by midday to maybe even early afternoon. In fact, we see by Saturday morning the front slows down. Looks like there's a double cold front, so we could get a little bit of a stall. Saturday could go either way. Either we get the passage of that initial cold front with a westerly flow that builds in behind it, or we get a little bit of a stalling factor with a secondary front that lays into the area and just sort of hangs, and then we get that push through Sunday with high pressure. Really, let me get the drawer out. This high pressure moves in and really starts this northerly bite. So it looks like for Sunday we could start to see that northerly wind work in and actually give some pretty decent winds. Of course, going beyond that, the map gets a little bit squirrely on it, but if we look at the NAM 4 kilometer, I'm going to start this now and kind of zoom forward here, and we go into time. There's that low pressure off of the southeast coast. This is what's going to help maybe create the gradient through this area over Florida. We could see the gradient hang just across central Florida, which may give enough for this high pressure moving in with a cold front to connect with it. So if we keep going into time, let me go back to the map, and let's see, we're on hour 29. Let's go back. I'm getting a little bit lost in that here. So the hour 29, and we keep going forward. You can actually see the cold front crease coming across the southeast region right about here, and then here comes that northwesterly wind. This is Saturday morning at about 6 o'clock a.m. So here's that northwesterly wind coming in behind the cold front, which is right about here, and we move forward in time. It's hour 35. And we keep going, and we see the westerly flow start to work its way in. So it looks like that cold front fizzles out a little bit over the Tampa Bay area by Saturday mid-afternoon to late afternoon, and that westerly flow starts to push into the area. Now, how fast the speeds are going to be has yet to be determined, because it's going to depend on the gradient that's established between the backside of that cold front and that high pressure that's moving in behind it. So Saturday could be a little bit tricky. It could be up and down. We may have to wait till tomorrow afternoon to figure out exactly what's going to go on there. As we go a little bit forward in time, go 45 hours out. This is pushing into Saturday late afternoon, and we go into Sunday. We can see that gradient really working down by Sunday morning. We have a pretty strong northerly wind, and right here is where some of that stronger wind is going to be. So we'll have a northerly wind for Sunday morning by the time you wake up. I think we'll have a pretty decent gradient Sunday morning going in through maybe midday. May see a lull in the winds, and then we see a rise again in the afternoon due to some of the heating and maybe some isolated sea breeze oscillations on the insides of those areas like Skyway. So wherever there's some instability with land and this cooler air sort of settling down over those warmer waters, we may see a little bit of extra wind there. But go ahead to, let's see, let's take a look at the iKitesurf map. Right now we have 15 knots gusting to 17 knots at last at Tampa Bay Cut J. Let's go ahead and take a look at Sunshine Skyway Pier, and we'll kind of gauge that for the forecast. We'll go back to the detailed map here, and we'll go to all details. So what we have is I'm gonna enable all the models, and we're just gonna take a quick look at this. So we go through Friday and into Saturday. Here's that westerly flow that the models are showing. You can see this right here. Most of the models are in agreement with the westerly flow making it into the area by Saturday morning. So it looks like there is some agreement that the cold front passes through the area. Now, the wind speeds only take it up to about 10 knots, but a lot of times these models miss the accountability of getting this sort of westerly wedge in, where it's called cold air advection or cool air advection. Even though it may not feel as cool, it certainly does have an effect from the atmosphere at a downward angle. We may actually get those winds up here to the mid-teens by Saturday morning to mid-afternoon. May even see something like this as we get later in the afternoon, and then sort of calming down as air temperatures cool in the evening. May even get up near 20 knots, but that's a little bit too far out to tell. That's just kind of my look at it, and as far as the models go. Now we get into Sunday morning, and here we see the wind speeds rising. We see that northerly flow. Even have some of the models, they even have this going to the northeasterly. If it's northeasterly flow, it'll probably be a little bit higher, just due to the sea breeze oscillations that go on inside of the Tampa Bay area, and some of those mechanics that happen, some of the instability factors, things that actually get those winds up. But as you can see, the models are showing that rise in the morning right here, and then you see that midday, early afternoon lull, and then kind of coming back in later. We may see something like that, or it could just remain consistent, actually build even higher to this point and then fade out in the evening. So usually that daytime heating has a lot to do with what happens there, and we'll have to wait and see. But as far as the models can see, they're all in agreement with the westerly flow making it in by Saturday, and then a north and northeasterly flow by Sunday. We'll watch for the speeds and watch the gradient and see what happens. And until then, I'll be back on tomorrow, Ryan, and I'll try to get another forecast in and see what we're looking like for the weekend. But until then, good luck, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.